Yo, what is up, guys? It's Paige here. So we got some big Brandon Scherff news. Also got Trent Williams update. So if you guys are new, subscribe for Redskins NFL content. So let's get into it. So it was reported earlier today that the Redskins are expected to franchise tag Brandon Scherff. That is about a 16 million cap hit, which is huge. But this was somewhat expected. But we also were kind of hoping that we would get a long-term deal done, which is still a possibility. It's most likely what's going to happen. But they had contract negotiations, but nothing came out of it because this new CBA was coming or is going to happen in the next couple of days slash weeks. So it was hard to do a contract extension because you didn't really know the new rules and regulations. So they're doing franchise tag for now. We'll probably work on a new contract in the next few weeks and going into the off season because 16 million a year at guard is a lot, and also it's only 1 year, so they want to they don't want to do this over again next season. He JP Finley said in his podcast last week that the Redskins and or Brandon Scherff probably won't play under a franchise tag next season, and not because he's a diva or anything, but he's just not going to risk getting hurt and possibly not getting a long-term deal. And the Redskins also don't want to get him on the field. Sorry about that. They don't want to get him on the field for only 1 year and have him go through that again in the off season. So I would expect the most likely thing to happen is Brandon Scherff gets a contract negotiation or extension in the next few weeks, at latest in the off season. I think that's what's going to happen. Probably from that 13 to 15 million dollars a year. 14 is the highest paid guard right now, so we'll see what happens there. He definitely probably wants to be the highest paid guard. I don't know if he will though. So yeah, that's the Brandon Scherff news. Not anything breaking, but pretty big news. So some other news, Trent Williams news, which you can never believe. I'm sorry, but like there's been so many conflicting reports from so many people, even JP Finley, Ian Rappaport, for the last full year. We really don't know what's happening. So disclaimer before I read what this guy said. So Chick Hernandez said sources close to Trent Williams' camp tell me, contrary to what they call false reports, Williams never met with Redskins head coach Ron Rivera over a contract extension. I'm told Rivera wanted Williams to come and meet with him and listen to what he had to say. The two met. It was their only meeting. The coach and player never spoke about contracts. Any report suggesting otherwise is false, according to my sources. So that's what he's reporting, and it could be true. They could have not talked about contract. They could have just talked about football, and it could have been just Ron Rivera trying to get Trent Williams back onto the Redskins, and it could be both. It could be about JP Finley's report earlier about him wanting 20 million a year, and it could be true that they never talked about contract negotiations. But Trent Williams still wants 20 million a year. So I'm still kind of wanting to trade Trent Williams just because there's been way too much drama with Trent Williams for over a year now, and I'm kind of over it. It's like it's just sick seeing so many reports, and you never know what's true. Really, guys, the only thing that if you see any reports, the only reports really to believe are if you hear that the Redskins and Trent Williams are in contract negotiations, or if you hear that the Redskins are in trade talks with other teams and their specific teams. I think this situation will get resolved before free agency. I think, well, if he's not back before free agency starts or before like March 24th ish, then I think we're gonna be trying to trade him. And obviously, if he's back before then, he's back. So that's what I think about the Trent Williams situation. I think we can get a second and a fourth, or maybe like a second and David Njoku from the Browns. Maybe a third in Njoku. Njoku's really good. He's just injury prone at tight end, so we'd still probably need a draft to tight end. But that's kind of my dream scenario for a trade package for Trent. So just don't believe everything you see. There's so many reports, so we don't know what's true. Now I'm going to be showing you guys how we can free up cap space and what the Brennan Scherff deal looks like for our team. We have around $61 million in cap space right now. This isn't totally accurate, but it's pretty close. So let me go down, add Brennan Scherff as a free agent, and it's going to be about $16 million. So let me put that in. So that puts us at about $45 million in cap space, which isn't not a lot for us still having to fill our cornerback spots, our tight end spots, and possibly linebacker spots. And then obviously you got Flowers still there, and then some other positions that you want to attack. So just Bradbury and Hooper, or just a random corner and elite tight end that we're gonna get is probably around $25 million. And then you add Flowers, it's around $32-33 million in cap space already right there. And if you want to get a linebacker, that's about 40 million at least total. So that puts us about 5, which you can't do that. So the way we can free up cap space is if we let's first the Ryan Kerrigan contract. I think he already said he's open to restructuring, and the Redskins are already talking to him about a restructure. So I think he's gonna get around a $2 million or 2 year extension. So he's playing through this year. So give him 2 more years and spread the money out and maybe give him most of it guaranteed. So that puts us at about $52 million in cap space. And then also, if we get a free safety like Trey Boston, that's like 5 million away from our cap space. But we would most likely release Monte Nicholson, and his salary spikes up this year. So we would be actually releasing around, I think, 2 point something million. Yeah, $2.3 million around. So that would actually means kind of signing Trey Boston's only around $2.5 million. So it wouldn't be bad. And then another way, obviously, is this Trent Williams contract, 14.5 million. So I think it's around 12 million. It frees up around $12 million in cap space if we do trade or release him. So I'm not going to trade him here because it doesn't allow to get you draft picks when you trade him. So I'll just release him. Obviously, the Redskins should not release him in real life, and not even trade him if they can get a contract extension going. That's not absurd. But you release him, which they won't do, or trade him, and it's a $12.5 million. It frees up $12.5 million in cap space. So that would put us at around $64 million in cap space to get a left tackle, at least a serviceable left tackle, and get a cornerback, tight end, linebackers, maybe a safety, and a few other, obviously, backups. So that's definitely enough, but that's what we got to do. Release or trade Trent Williams. If we can't get him back, or if we can get him back, obviously keep him because that saves us from getting someone in free agency to replace him, and he's one of the better left tackles in the league. And then the second step is try to get Kerrigan to restructure his deal. So yeah, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash the like button and turn on notifications to get the news as fast as possible. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.